श्वास तुझ में ही समाए, साचा रूप साचा रंग मन में दिखाए, प्रकाशित हृदय में ईश्वर।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verses 1 to 10.
ॐ अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्वलोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम् तेजक्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदम् दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम् दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता मा शुचः सम्पदम् दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरम् पार्थ मे शृणु प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जना न विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारः न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते असत्यमप्रतिष्ठं ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतम् किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम् एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरम् दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहाद् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः
Sri Bhagavan Vacha. The Blessed Lord said, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. Qualities of the divine, the good people. So first quality of a good person is he becomes fearless. Why is a good person fearless? Because a good person, by definition itself, no otherness, no feeling that this person is different from me. My well-being is different from your well-being. You understand that we all, we all float together or sing together. It's not like we have this option, that I will do well and you will do badly. No, we are in the same boat. So either the boat sinks or it sails, one of the two. So you begin to see that there is this concept of I win, you lose, you win, I lose. It's not a relevant concept at all. There will be times where you will do better than me. There will be times that I will do better than you. When you do better than me, you give me your hand. When I do better than you, I'll give you my hand. This is the way we live together in a spirit of cooperative endeavor. We're doing this together. We're on the same planet. We're in the same sort of human embodiment, and we have the same problems, and we have the same ups and the same downs. We have all the same things going on with all of us. Sometimes you are suffering, sometimes I am suffering. When you are suffering, let me help you. When I am suffering, you help me. And if we all live like this together, this is known as Satya Yoga. When we don't all live like that, but most people live like that, then it becomes Treta Yoga. When half the people live like that, then it's Dwapar Yoga. And when everybody thinks that my win is your loss, then that's Kali Yoga, which means there's Pralaya, there's destruction. We'll all go down. It's not like there is some kind of competition here that we have to win. It is understanding that we are one. I am willing to make the sacrifices for you because I understand that your well-being and my well-being are not separate. That is known as goodness. So when there's no sense of otherness, who are you going to be frightened of? Who is there to be frightened? The first quality of goodness is no otherness. The second quality of goodness is knowledge. The more the knowledge you have, the more you are fearless about things. What is there to be frightened of? If you understand, to whatever extent you understand something, you don't get frightened of it. For instance, these people who go and live with tigers and lions and all that, Have you seen sometimes on TV or on YouTube? You will see these people. They're walking with the tigers and lions. I don't know what they're doing. How come they are not frightened? Imagine if you were to walk next to a tiger. What would you feel? Why are you frightened that they are not frightened? They know something you don't. That's simple. In the zoo in Mumbai, um, there's a magnificent tiger. I mean, two of them, I think, if I remember correctly. So these tigers, massive. You know how tigers are. You go and see. If you're in Mumbai, you go and see them. When you go see them, Deepraj, when you come to Mumbai, I'll take you to see the tiger. Go and see the tiger. The way they build the enclosure is there's only a glass pane between you and the tiger. And that tiger over there, he's a bit of a ham, I think. Last Janma, he must have been an actor or a superstar or something. Because he loves to show off. So he will come right next to that glass. And I mean, he's literally 6 inches away from you. If you're near the glass, he's 6 inches away from you. And you're terror struck because, I hope this glass will stay. So when you, as an adult watching it, are like, that tiger, and when will you ever see that tiger this close? But when the child sees the same tiger approaching that glass, they start screaming, they go mad. Because for the child, the tiger is coming on them. So why are you not screaming with fear? Though actually some adults also scream with fear over there. But so what is the difference between the people who scream and don't scream? Those who recognize that that glass is designed to keep that tiger and you separate, and there is a 99% chance that it will actually work. It has worked all these years. It will probably work today also. They are not frightened. But those who cannot understand that, they are terrified. And you would be when you look at that tiger, massive. And he's a real ham, I tell you. He loves to show off. He'll come right next to that thing. He knows he's getting reaction, no? So he comes right next to the. Oh, so why do some people get frightened and some don't? Some know of the glass. Some cannot. They cannot understand that there's a glass. So when there is ignorance, there is fear. A lot of fear when there's ignorance. So first cause of fear is otherness. Second cause of fear is ignorance. When you don't know how to deal with something, you get frightened of it. You know those trapeze artists. Have you seen those trapeze artists? No, what all they do? They throw each other and all this thing. I don't know if I'd be able to like be thrown somewhere and hope that somebody else catches me. All frightening. Why are they not frightened? They know something you don't. It's that simple. So ignorance causes fear. Third thing that causes fear is self-centeredness, destructiveness, attachment, desire. You can put it all separate or you can put it in one, whatever you want. But they're all sort of interrelated. When you want something, you are frightened you may not get it. When you have something and are very attached to it, you're frightened you may lose it. When the attention is on myself, there's always fear. And when I go from self-centered to destructive, then there's always fear. You see all these people, Hitler or anybody else who live very destructive lives. You think the fear they live with. Like if, I don't know, Dawood Ibrahim, what fear he must be living at all time. Anybody at any time may want to kill them, right? So whenever there's a destructive instinct, fear comes as part of it. So a good person has none of these. Neither otherness, nor ignorance, nor self-centeredness. Self-centeredness and all these permutations and combinations of self-centered. So no fear. So you want to know how good you are? Examine how frightened you are. Very simple. You get frightened, what are you frightened of? Shahid Bhagat Singh walks to the gallows and he's not frightened. Walking to his death, not frightened. Others, they're sitting at home, they're terrified. Oh my God, what will happen if I die? What will happen if you die? World will continue as it is. You put your hand in the water, you take your hand out of the water. Was there any difference? What will happen if you die? Nothing. Yes, Mahesh.
So fearlessness does not mean that there is no fear at all, right? Suppose you're caught in a fire or something. You do feel fear, I suppose. I mean, fearlessness just refers to the fact that you aren't agitated due to these reasons, which you just sort of. But you can feel fear in certain situations. Or even if the tiger suddenly attacks you, you do feel a sense of fear, I think. Is that right? I mean,
Yeah, Mahesh, you also go to the zoo. I'll also come. I love to see that tiger. All his more shenanigans. You get up, you go on. You come and see whether you feel frightened. Come and stand right next to the mirror. He'll come and put his face right there. You come and see if you feel frightened. Then you can assess, have I grown spiritually or not? No, it is not that you, both conditions are possible. One condition is you don't feel fear at all. So for that, you have to be very highly evolved. The second condition is you feel fear, but the fear doesn't overwhelm you. That is like a sadhak's thing. That you're okay, I'm frightened, but I will still do the right thing, which is the same across the board. So you could, if you're very highly evolved, I mean, your selfishness, otherness, ignorance is considerably reduced, you won't feel fear. What will you fear? Does your right hand ever fear your left hand? Does your head ever fear your hand? Your hand is capable of hitting the head. Head is not capable of hitting the hand. But is there any fear? Because there's no otherness. Does your tongue get frightened of your teeth? Even though your teeth may have bitten the tongue. Are you frightened? Because there's so much oneness. So as you grow very high, there is no fear, zero fear. But for us, we may feel fear, but the fear doesn't overwhelm us if our sadhana is going correct. We're doing the right thing.
so self-realized people are the ones who reach that stage, right?
Yeah, self-realized, close to self-realized. I mean, to the extent that you've removed ignorance and otherness and selfishness, no fear.
Okay, thank you.
Then sattva samshuddhi, complete purity. Purity in Vedanta refers to, do you remember? Purity refers to
The mind.
No vasanas.
actually it refers to no agitations. Vedanta, the beautiful thing about Vedanta is a very non-judgmental thing. Its level of non-judgmental is incredible actually. So it is a so impurity is agitation. That's how it's defined. Mamita, otherness leads to ignorance, self-centeredness, and destruction. So all the aspects seem to include the others, like Hitler saw himself as the savior of the Germans. Yes, they're all interconnected, though I wouldn't say otherness leads to ignorance. I would say ignorance leads to otherness. So ignorance is the root of every problem. So yes, they're all interconnected. That's why I put all the remaining ones in one category. Desire, attachment, self-centeredness, destructive. Whole thing is, you can make it different, and that would be correct too, but they're all so interconnected. That's why a good person is fearless, because they are interconnected. Then, sattva samshuddhi. Sattva samshuddhi means sattva, sattva. Samshuddhi. Shuddhi is purity. Samshuddhi is complete, complete shuddhi, complete, what should I say, cleanliness, purity. So what is that which is complete purity? Is a tranquil mind, zero agitation, no agitation. No matter what happens, it's simply not agitated. So, as a good person, you don't get agitated. Some people ask this question, why do good people suffer? Good people don't suffer. You think they're suffering. They are not suffering. If they are good, they will not be suffering. You think that if they are, the bad circumstances make them suffer. No, bad circumstances don't make them suffer. You can say they have bad circumstances, which is true. But they're also completely peaceful in those circumstances. There's a Sanskrit verse that says, where there's santushtata, where there's contentment, kaha daridra, kaha dhanvan, who is poor and who is rich. They both are equally happy. Who is poor and who is rich? So what is sattva samshuddhi? What is this complete purity? What is this being in sattva? It is just the absence of agitation. There's no agitation. So your mind is so clear, so calm, so at rest that the self stands revealed. That kind of calmness and the self is seen. Ramatirtha gives this example that the waters are completely still and you simply see your face. And when you see your face there in those waters, you understand it over here. Because if you see some black dot on your face, you don't clean the water, right? You clean here. So you understand it there and immediately understand it. So when the mind is so crystal clear, so perfectly still, the truth just stands revealed. So what is the worst thing about being selfish and self-centered is you can't see the truth. And when you can't see the truth, how on earth will you take any correct action? So if you want your own personality to flower, if you want to reach whatever potential you are capable of reaching, that selfishness must be picked up and thrown out of the window. And when you pick it up and throw it out of the window, you will begin to see how much is still left. What never occurred to you as being selfish earlier will now occur to you as being selfish. And every time you see something selfish, you just pick it up and throw it away because that is poison to you. And once you remove all that poison, then it's all calm, peaceful. Just see the truth as it exists. You see everything as it exists, not colored by anything within. That is why, people struggle with their intellect to understand the truth. It never works like that. You see, even when we are doing the course, when we are going to do this PG diploma course, the amount of emphasis on karma, we think that through knowledge, like study and all of that, you begin to understand. It is the backing of karma that makes us understand. So the course in the evening time is like you do your work. It's an amazing thing. Karma is a great purifier. If you're not doing karma, you go downwards, no matter what else you do or don't do. So to actually be able to see through the mess, you need that unselfish, dedicated, committed work towards a higher cause. And when you start doing it, It's like your vision opens out. It's like you feel like you've come out of the clouds. Of course, with the backing of knowledge. Now, don't say I don't have to study in the morning. I have to study in the morning. But karma is a very important facet of this. So, when it just removes this rubbish of selfishness, the whole personality unfolds. What potential you have just comes out. That's why so many people, you look at them, you feel, my God, there's so much potential, but nothing much to see. I mean, in terms of the world, nothing much has been done or obtained or served or nothing because too caught up in themselves, too caught up in themselves. So once you remove that, then you will find the truth of what Christ has said. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And then know the ultimate truth. Gunjan, how do we make a distinction between what is selfish and what is not? What is the definition of selfishness? Anything that you do towards your body or mind or intellect is known as selfish. When you do something for your body, mind, and intellect at the cost of another's body, mind, and intellect, it is known as selfishness. So, how do we make a distinction between what is selfish and what is not? Whatever you do for the cause is unselfish. Whatever you do for your body, mind, intellect is selfish. So, like if you are working for the country, let us say. Okay, so you're working for the country. Then you say, nahi yaar, aaj chodo. So that selfish instinct has come. So whatever you do for your body, mind, intellect, at the cost of others is selfish. How do you make a distinction to know, am I doing it because I want to do it or I'm doing it because it's serving the cause?
Sometimes there are, for example, if we take the example of a relationship between a parent and a child. So parents have certain desires towards a child. And when the child is grown up, he or she understands and want to become, better or improve themselves. So now there is a contradiction between what a parent want for the child and what a child want for itself. So how do we here make a distinction that what is selfish and what is not?
When the parent wants something for the child different from what the child wants for itself, the parent is being selfish. The child has to live his life, right? Every human has to live his own life. When you say child, I'm assuming it's a grown child, not a baby child who is like, I don't want to go to school, and the parents says, okay, don't go to school. I mean, not that way, but a grown child. Suppose I have a 20-year-old son. I want my 20-year-old son to become a doctor. But that chap wants to become, I don't know what, do his MBA or whatever, be an artist, do his MBA, whatever else he wants to do. Then I have to realize it's not my decision. He's an adult. He has to make this decision, not I. So if I say, no, I will make this decision for you because this is what I want, self-centeredness.
So
Every has to live his life.
in this case, one cannot say that the child is being selfish about uh, its growth.
Of course not. Every being gets one life to live. You get yours, I get mine. Mahesh gets his, Mamita gets hers. Everyone has to make their decisions about their life and go forward. You can't interfere in other people's lives, however much you may want. Otherwise, the teacher's life would be the most miserable life because as a teacher, we're giving instructions to every child what do this, do that, do this, do this, will go mad. The children will also go mad and the teacher will also go mad. No, each one will take his own decisions and suffer the consequences or enjoy the consequences thereof. Deepraj, there is night and day difference between working for service and working to get something. One picks you up, dignifies you, and the other makes you a beggar. Correct. The world of difference, it's true, but when you're struggling with that difference, then you need to know you're saying the consequences. But now, when you're about to make a decision, your consequences are not known. So, at that point, how will you tell? I thought Gunjan's question was around that. You have to know before action, right? Yeah, you are giving after action. You will see that this is the result. So, how
Yeah,
would
no, yeah. It was before Gunja spoke.
Okay. Yes, you're right. Those are the consequences. Correct. Momita. Ephesians 5:31. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Okay. You have to, cut your apron strings and get on with life. What you owe your parents is gratitude. What you owe your parents is service. What you owe your parents is like whatever. I don't know. They kept you alive. They without them you wouldn't exist. So you have a huge debt of gratitude to your parents. I mean, you have to look after your parents. I don't know how do you express all this. Whatever in our culture we are told to do for our parents, we have to do. Have to do means we don't have to do anything. But if you don't do it, you would be a grossly selfish person. If you can't look after your parents, who on earth are you going to look after? But having said that, looking after my parents means looking after their well-being, doesn't mean killing myself. And when I don't live by my swadharma, I'm killing myself. And when you begin to realize that there is no you versus me, you realize that by killing my swadharma, my parents are not going to be served. If you see children who have done that, and I know many, they wanted to do X, Y, and Z, but their parents were old or infirm or sick or whatever it is they were, then they just gave up everything and looked after the parents to the extent that they could not live their lives. Now, what happens in this case? You misunderstand what happens in this case. Though they are technically looking after their parents, that frustration that they are feeling because their swadharma is not being met is coming out on whom? It's coming out on those parents. So it's so in one sense they're looking after them, and in another sense they're making them entirely miserable, which would be which would not happen if you lived your own life with your swadharma for your cause and took care of your parents. Otherwise, you are making them miserable. They are making you miserable. You are making them miserable. And many households, you'll see this. They're all like sort of there for each other and are the main problem for each other as well. It's a very foolish way of doing things. So you have to know what is service and what is not service. There is no way that I will kill my swadharma and be able to help anybody else. Doesn't happen that. Because in this world there is cohesiveness. Our interest is together, not you versus me. So you have to know what is to be. Otherwise, these are all very small hints given that as a husband, when you get married to a wife, you stand now a divided loyalty between parents and wife. You can't choose one over the other. So you have to figure out and very intelligently manage this equation. So, so this is advice to the parents that, take it easy now that the child is sort of on his own. Paradharma is another cause for fear, yes. But we don't, I'm assuming, Bharat, you're saying Paradharma is another cause of fear. Why is it not there in this list? I'm assuming that's your question. So if is that your question?
Yeah, sort of. But since we've spoken about this,
Hmm.
can you hear me?
Yeah, not very well, but yeah.
Yeah. So not following Swadharma is, I mean, it's given in the Gita, right? It'll be a cause of fear.
Hmm. Bhayavaha, yes, but it's not in this list. The word paradharma is not in this list because functioning on paradharma will come under
Permission.
Ignorance.
okay, ignorance, more otherness. Para, other. So much otherness you have with whatever work you're doing, of course you're going to have fear. You don't have oneness with your own work. One thing, ignorance is correct. I didn't know the law. That is okay. But with the work itself, you have otherness. How are you going to have lack of fear? You're not finding that work in you same.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay, so blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Just complete silence in the mind, and the truth is revealed. Then, third quality, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi, steadfastness in knowledge and yoga. As an opinion, purely as an opinion, if you have to think of what is the most important quality a sadhak should have, it would be this one. Every other quality talks about your level. This quality talks about how it doesn't matter what your level is. The most important thing that a sadhak can have is the capacity to be consistent. Anybody in the world could beat you at any quality. It doesn't matter. But if you have this quality, you will win anything. The quality of consistency is unbelievable. I mean, I'm sure you all know that there's a lot of projects, a lot of work on, and so time is always short. And then these people keep writing new biodatas for me all the time. Momita, Mahesh, Omkar, Jayashri, every once in a while they send me some new biodata for whatever work they are doing. Can we send this? Last time, I think Mahesh, I don't know who wrote, Mahesh or Jayashri or someone sent me a biodata and they've written prolific author. I thought, prolific author? I mean, I know you guys for marketing purposes like to exaggerate, but this is like too much. Prolific? There are 4 books, so what's so prolific about it? So he said, no, why? You have the books, all the articles in the various, sort of newspapers, over 1,000 videos on YouTube. No, prolific, interest. Let us, for argument's sake, not debate whether this is true or false. But the fact is, imagine if you look at the YouTube videos, we do 3 classes a week. It's not a lot. And yet, we've crossed 1,000 videos on YouTube. Isn't it? It's an incredible thing. In spite of having no time in the day whatsoever to write a single word, it's a rule every single morning to write something. So it doesn't matter what, write something. And before you know it, 4 books are written. And 5th one is coming out. This quality of doing even a little bit, but doing it consistently, is the single most important thing. If you look at any achiever in this world, he has achieved, not because he has done more than you and I, but he has done whatever he has done consistently. It is better to take one thing and do it consistently than to take a billion things and never finish anything. One thing, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And the synergy, that 1 + 1 doesn't make 2. It makes 2, it makes 10, it makes 100, it makes 1,000. It will grow like that. Every single day, make up your mind to do something, whatever it is. Imagine, ever since you had joined Vedanta, if you had spent even half an hour studying every single day, do you imagine how much knowledge you would have had of the subject by now? Just half an hour. It's not asking for a lot. So when he's talking about the quality of the divine, he says steadfastness or consistency in knowledge and yoga. Do even a little bit, but do it consistently, do it daily. Give yourself, say, I can't handle 1 hour studies, don't do it. Can't handle half an hour studies, don't do it. What can you handle? I can do 15, 20. Then do 15, 20. Is it really so difficult for us to do 15, 20 minutes of study every single day? When you see it like that, it's not asking for a lot. Is it really so difficult to do 15, 20 minutes of exercise every day? It's not a lot. What counts is not how much you're doing daily, but that you are doing it daily. Because consistency is the single most important quality anyone can have. And if you have consistency with ability, you'll become a genius. If you have consistency, but your ability is not high, you will defeat people who have ability, but no consistency. Just keep at it. So here he's talking about the quality of a sadhak, which is steadfastness in knowledge and yoga. Whatever you do, even if you choose to do it once a week, commit. Whatever you're committing to, commit and do it. Not like, oh, aaj man nahi hai. Yes, Parag?
One would need clarity to understand what consistency will bring over a period of time, right? So, in that sense, wouldn't clarity precede consistency in the quality, the most important quality?
Not really, because in our terminology, the way we use the word clarity, it's a very big thing. It's not clarity in one small thing, but clarity across the board. You're able to see how the various pictures fit in and all that. So that clarity itself is the result of consistency. How do you start with that kind of? So we are not talking about like simple, stupid, everyday clarity when we're talking about developing clarity, no? So it will come with consistency. Every day you've done it. So if you say no, that I will, sometimes you may not even know that consistency is going to give you this result. Maybe it's just a habit you have. Even then it will work. Maybe it's just something that you are committed to. You're not very clear what is going to come out of it, but you're committed to doing it. Even then it will come. You don't need to know the result to do it. In fact, you will find that very smart people sometimes are not as consistent as people who are not so smart. So, clarity is a consequence. I mean, in the sense we use it. For us, clarity is a big word, no? Huge word. So it
Can we
doesn't, sorry?
can we say both feed off each other?
Yeah, you can say that.
Thank you.
So just daily, consistent, big thing. Or even weekly, or even monthly, whatever Baba you can do. But it's one of the most important qualities. So consistency in knowledge and yoga, consistency in your sadhana. Make up your mind what you want to do and keep with it, even if it's a very little bit. Then charity.
Question.
Yeah.
So any reason for using yoga, knowledge and yoga? Are they sort of different in any way, or just refers to a blanket sadhana?
Yeah, sadhana, knowledge means you know what you're doing, and yoga is that you are doing it.
Okay.
Because many people, I'm sure everybody in this class understands the use of sadhana, but is everybody doing it?
Okay.
Many people have this version that, oh, this is very good, very good. But कर क्या रहे हो? कुछ नहीं. मैं पूरा टाइम पैसे कमाने में या खर्च करने में बिता रहा हूँ. मेरे पास साधना के लिए टाइम नहीं है, कर्मा के लिए टाइम नहीं है.
Okay. Thank you.
Knowledge is knowing and yoga is doing. Doing means not doing something physically, but actually living by that knowledge that you have got. Charity. Charity is the spirit of sharing, of giving. You cannot have the spirit of giving and sharing and charity until you at least learn to give due recompense for the things you are getting. At the moment, we would like to get things free. Oh, this is free, that is free. I am going to this because it is free. I'm going to that because it is free. We want things free. We don't want to pay the price or whatever we want. As a Vedantin, you should be allergic to that word free. Why do you want anything free? What is the glory of being a Vedantin? Is that you are charitable. And when I say Vedantin, I mean just a normal human being. There was a small reel I saw the other day, some Western guy. He was talking about, like just financial planning and all, like proper do your financial planning. So it's that same thing everybody knows. Spend less than you earn, invest, don't get into debt. Basic financial rules. So he gave, like he said, there were 5 rules. So what are the 5 rules? You spend less than you earn, don't get into debt, invest, the normal stuff. Nothing, don't take a loan, don't buy on credit card, don't take a mortgage, don't take any loans in life, basically. All this he said. And he said all this will give you the ability to do the 5th thing. And what is this 5th thing? He said, you with your money, which you have so intelligently handled, you will be capable of being outrageously generous. But that was fantastic. Because everybody thinks of saving and spending, 2 things they can think of with the money. What happened to charity? Just give it away. There would be no poverty in this world if we did not hoard wealth. For a cause, be willing to give. For a cause that you think is worthy of being given to. Be willing. Don't, I want free, I want free, I want this free also, I want that free also. I will give. I will be outrageously generous. And it's very, very interesting to see what happens to these people who are outrageously generous. Like, Bhagwan faad ke deta hai. So he says, charity. A good person. He's not a conjuice. He's a large giver. Momita, airport lounge nowadays. Everyone goes there just because it's free. Okay, yes. So I'm glad you're noticing that free, free, free all the time. Our culture has become around free. Everything we want free. And then we say people are losing their jobs. What is this? The startups aren't doing well. You want free, they give free, then they crash. Like, it's kind of crazy. You're just burning money. How can anybody give you free? It costs. And why are you not willing to pay the price? We wanted, when we were starting this, the course at the university, the first course, we were very idealistic. We wanted it to be a free course, and people will also tell us, why isn't your course free? Then our, where is he? Surender. Surender is our costing man. He said, okay, and then he made a cost. What is going to be the cost of a single person being for 1 year on the campus? What is the cost? Not including the cost. He first included the cost of the capex as well. That please remove capex because the cost is so much, not a single person will come. So removing capex, okay, just not considering the cost of the land, not considering the cost of the buildings, not considering anything, water, electricity, setting up the infrastructure, remove all those costs. Just operating costs. Just what is it now going to cost to have a student? And then he showed me what is the number. I said, forget it, no free courses over here. Where is this money supposed to come from? Yes, you're right, Pushkar. Nothing comes free. Everything has a cost, correct? Meera, governments are giving freebies at the expense of the taxpayer, yes? All the time. The government giving freebies is a very good thing, but to whom are you giving and for what are you giving? Are you giving it to get votes, or are you giving it so that people come on par with others and then they can be earners in their own right? So the whole system is messed up because clarity is absent. So system is messed up. We don't want to pay. Nobody wants to pay us. Then when today I was buying vegetables, okay, and I was surprised to see that they said, okay, if you buy so much, then this happens. If you buy so much, oh, interesting. So I bought whatever I was to buy. Then now, obviously, the farmer has to be paid. The website has to obviously have money. So when you go, they tell you if you do this, then you will get this. So when I was finally purchasing it, it turned out that none of those freebies were available. They were simply faking it, which is fine. I still bought it. I needed those things. I was buying them. But the thing is, now for them to deal with our want for these freebies, what are they doing? They are lying. They are not paying the farmer enough because they have to deal with us, no? So it's a system. That's why in the course, I hope all the people who come there understand how these systems work. And once you understand how the system works, then you understand this is not workable deal or this is a workable deal. Now, once you're able to see this, you are able to see what is the charity, what is the giving which you can do by which you can make people self-sufficient, self-reliant, not just in wealth, but in their whole lives. As of now, people can only think of making people self-reliant in terms of money. Most of the world is self-reliant in terms of money. तो क्या तीर मारा? We can't think beyond money. In fact, Jai Shri, Mahesh, they all write proposals to tell people, please give us money so that we need 80 lakhs, as you know. Give us money, please, to put this up. And many people come back and say, but y'all are not doing anything for the underprivileged, so we won't give you. By underprivileged, what are they talking about? Poor people? Nobody thinks of people without knowledge as being underprivileged. If you don't have the knowledge of life, that is the biggest underprivilege you have. So, first, you must want to be charitable. That's step one. Second, you have to consider, where should I be charitable? When it comes to charity, I only think of poor people, as if that's the only sort of problem that exists in this world. More damage is being created by the rich people than the poor people. So it's very, very interesting, this whole concept of charity. First, the heart must want to give. You must want to be outrageously charitable. You must want that, okay, how much money have I made, and therefore how much can I give? Because the greatest joy you can ever get with all the money you have is the joy of giving it away. There is no joy greater than whatever you can buy with money. The greatest joy is how much you can give away. The first is you have to you must enjoy that. You rise up to enjoying it. And having risen up to enjoying it comes step two. You have the brains to figure out what's the most bang for the buck. What if I were to give maximum good to maximum number of people? So charity is really an art. First, it's an emotion, and then it's an art. The art of giving the right thing to the right person at the right time and finding the satisfaction of having done this correctly. No satisfaction like that. Those who are able to do it will not give this up for anything. Then, self-restraint. Okay, so what have we got? Abhayam, sattva samshuddhihi, jnana yoga vyavasthitihi, danam. Danam is charity. Damaha. Damaha is self-restraint. Self-restraint is not self-denial. It is not making a list of things I do not do. It is making a list of things worthy of being done, and therefore not having the time or inclination to do some other things. Self-restraint is your capacity to say no to anything that interrupts your purpose. What is it that you wish to do? Are you doing it? You wish to study, but what you are doing is scrolling on your phone. Self-restraint is saying, no, I will not scroll. You wish to go and, I don't know, cook your meal, but you're watching television. Self-restraint is, no, I won't. I will not watch television. I will go and cook the meal. You wish to reach the self. Self-restraint is, I will not do things that don't take me there. So self-restraint Bharat. Interesting sequence of qualities. Self-restraint comes after charity. Yes. Otherwise, you would say the other side of charity is self-restraint. Right? Because if you are not restraining yourself, then how would you do charity? But for him, self-restraint is more than self-restraint monetarily. It is controlling your material, physical, emotional, intellectual desires in the pursuit of the higher cause. Yes, Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha are the four Purusharthas, the four things people want. But here what we're talking about is self-restraint, which is how you're going to keep, how you're not going to allow artha and kam to come in the way of dharma and moksha. So dharma is the path to moksha, right? So artha and kam cannot interrupt it. That doesn't mean that there's anything against artha and kam. If you don't have money, you will come and ask us for money. So you please have your own money, right? If you cannot enjoy your life, then you're a complete miser. How can you not enjoy your life? What are you here for? Why don't you enjoy your life? So nothing against artha and kam. But they should not interrupt the path to dharma and moksha. Otherwise, of course, please enjoy yourself. Why not? Yes, go ahead. You had a question, Pushkar?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I think that artha is very important from the point of fulfilling of kama. And once your desires are fulfilled, you are more oriented towards dharma and generosity, the capacity to help others. Of course, in order to help somebody, you need the money also. That is also a means to an end. So the practice of dharma gradually propels you towards the ultimate goal of kama. Yeah, moksha. That is
Yes and no. There are many people who have lots of artha and lots of kama, tick tick, but dharma and moksha, no ticks. So it's not necessarily so. Unless it is backed in knowledge, it won't happen. I mean, let's say that Dawood Ibrahim has a lot of artha and kama. So how does that make him go on the path of dharma or moksha? So not necessarily. Hitler had it. Lots of artha, lots of kama. So not necessarily so, but yes, more comfortable if you do have it. It's more comfortable.
That's why there is so much respect for Lakshmi, worshipping of Lakshmi in the traditional Hindu belief system.
Yes. Both. There is rejection also and there's worship also.
I have heard many people saying that पैसे तो हाथ का मैल है. ऐसा नहीं है. You have to give respect to पैसा.
True. But here we are talking, remember the point we're discussing. We're talking about self-restraint.
Yes.
So self-restraint is what you practice so that you reach the goal that you say no to anything that comes in to interrupt the goal. That's the point.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So that's it for today. Every Sunday, as you know, I give you a little update. I don't know if we have pictures, but now everything is going on at full speed at the plot. Just the final touches. The interiors are going to start now. We are looking at tiles and whatnot currently. So the structures are now ready. Office is ready. Libraries, interiors are not done, but the structure is there. Office is ready. Library is ready. Staff quarters are ready. Acharya Gruha is almost ready. And now, of course, the final, what do you call it? All that, the interiors work will begin. And by the end of this month, or by the 25th of August, we expect that the first cabin will come on the plot. And then, of course, it will come to its final shape eventually with all the others. And we have, in the meanwhile, there is a small school next to the plot. Our next door neighbor is a school and a small Anganwadi. So you have pictures, Jayashree? We went and gave clothes, and to the Anganwadi, we gave them all uniform. They're so cute. They're so tiny, and the uniforms also so tiny. They're so cute. And next time, I mean, when we went last time, they all were standing in their nice new uniform. Very cute. And then there's a school next door, and the school has asked for our help, which we have very, very willingly agreed to do. So they require notebooks and pens and games and sort of water bottles. So Jayashree and I went hunting water bottles in the market. And now we have given them all this thing. You have some pictures that we gave all this, obviously sponsored, and now we are setting up a little playground for them. They want swings and seesaws and things like that. It is quite sad that they have these schools, but not the most basic things that we think children should have. So we hope one day to get their internet going properly. That's our next project with reference to them, so that we can help in the education a little bit. Anybody in class who would like to, help the kids, maybe we can teach them spoken English, or I don't know, teach them to chant some verses. Any way you can help in their education a little bit. So they are Adivasi children coming from, nobody in their whole khandan has heard of a school. Forget joining a school. They don't even speak a Marathi which is comprehensible. Even they don't understand the teachers, because the Marathi itself they don't understand. It's a different Marathi. So we can do whatever we can to help. Yes, we were thinking we will do some e-learning, in the sense, any of our volunteers, if you'd like to teach English or teach any subject, you can teach some of the kids there. But first we have to get their internet and all this working. They have TV and all that. It's incredible how things work. They have all the infrastructure for us to be able to teach them, except internet. They have the TV, they have all of that, but they don't have. Here, this is the school, and we went to give them, yeah, all these water bottles and books and pens. You can see all these cartons over there. So very nice. They're very blessed to have a chance to help. They're so cute. You should see the way they clap. We don't have any recording of the way they clap, no? They have been taught to clap in unison. So they have a particular, every time they're told to clap, they do a very particular kind of clap. So when you all come, you go and see them as well. So yes, so things are happening on our plot. Things are happening on these two of our neighbors, which is the school and the Anganwadi. And sometime I hope to fix up a day for us to all go over there and visit and see what is happening. But we can't find a date, because every date we find, everybody has an objection. So let's at some point find a date. I think that's it. Anything, Jayashree, you have anything to add? So then that's it for today. Oh, you're going to show some pictures? This is our plot. All this thing is happening on our plot.